Since hitting the market in 1876 with its iconic octagonal glass bottle, Heinz ketchup has become the ubiquitous condiment. These packets you get at the fast food joint, probably Heinz. The bottle in your fridge? Probably Heinz. According to the NPR, of the 97% of Americans who have a bottle of ketchup in their kitchens, Heinz accounts for about half. The reason for their dominating market share is simple. It's the perfect recipe, the company says. And when you've been making perfect ketchup for over 140 years, there's bound to be some juicy secrets and strange facts out there. From a rotten tomato scandal to exactly how fast it comes out of the bottle to how you've probably been pouring it wrong your whole life. Here's everything you don't know about the condiment H.J. Heinz invented all those years ago. In this video, we're going to show you 10 facts that you need to know about Heinz. We're OnlyBrands, the channel dedicated to bringing you awesome, regular content on the world's hottest brands. Let's do this. Number 1. 57 varieties? You might logically assume, based on the 57 varieties slogan that adorns Heinz ketchup bottles, that there are, or at least were at some point, 57 varieties of Heinz ketchup. But you'd be wrong. It's actually a totally arbitrary number. The number was chosen by Henry Heinz in 1896, 20 years after their ketchup was first sold. At this point, the company already had more than 60 varieties of products, including pickles, olive oil, spaghetti, peanut butter, and more. But one day, as Heinz rode a train through New York, he noticed a sign that advertised 21 varieties of shoes, which according to the company's website, he found to be clever. He decided on 57 varieties for his company, a number he felt was lucky, but which had no other meaning, and immediately started plastering all products and advertisements with the slogan. Today, the company sells more than 5,700 varieties, but the catchphrase remains. Number 2. Proper way to pour. That 57 on the bottle may not have any real meaning, but it does serve a purpose for those short on patience. If it seems like your Heinz ketchup takes an excruciatingly long time to go from bottle to burger, it's because the condiment exits its glass container at 0.028 miles per hour, and anything faster than that would be rejected for sale. Nobody wants watery ketchup, obviously, but there are a couple tricks to get your fix a little faster. According to Live Science, there is a proper way to pour ketchup both faster and splatter-free. First, shake well to distribute the solid particles and ensure an even flow. Then, with the cap still on, turn the bottle upside down. Finally, tilt to a 45-degree angle, uncap, and give the bottom a few firm taps. But if you ask the good people at Heinz, all you need to do is utilize the embossed 57 on the bottleneck. A firm tap at that point on the tilted bottle is all you need to get the ketchup out with a little extra speed. Ketchup hacked. Number 3. Mayoketchup. Heinz caused quite a stir in April of 2018 with one little tweet. Want hashtag Mayoketchup in stores? 500,000 votes for yes, and we'll release it to you saucy Americans. The condiment, a simple blend of ketchup and mayonnaise that the company had already introduced in some Middle Eastern countries, sparked outrage for some Twitter users who called it appropriation. This was due to the fact that Latinos had been marketing this very sauce for years. It is hashtag Mayoketchup, and we invented it ages ago in Puerto Rico. Too late, Heinz, one Puerto Rican user tweeted. Meanwhile, in the States, people from Utah laid claim to the hybrid condiment, with one user tweeting, "It's not Mayoketchup or Mayoketchup, it's fry sauce, and I'm 160% sure it was invented in Utah," because it was. Get it right. In any case, the Twitter poll ended with close to 1 million votes, and 55% of the people said yes to the Mayoketchup. Ask and you shall receive. The company officially released the product to the US market in late 2018. By the way, a lot of hard work and care goes into these videos, so if you could help us out and click the subscribe button, we would greatly appreciate it. Number 4. Ed Sheeran's Tats. Ed Sheeran has a lot of tattoos, but if you look closely, you'll see a familiar ketchup label on his left bicep. Yes, the singer loves Heinz that much. So much apparently that he even brings it with him on tour. British leading tabloid newspaper, The Sun, alleges that a source revealed Sheeran's ketchup habits, saying Ed's made no secret of his Heinz ketchup obsession, and he's ran out of patience with going to places that don't serve it while he's touring. Seeing an opportunity here, a gelato shop in Ireland decided to create a ketchup-infused treat in honor of Sheeran's upcoming concert. In an Instagram post, they said, "We decided to welcome Ed Sheeran back to Ireland by creating his favorite flavor, tomato ketchup. Drop in for a free ketchup cone if attending the concert. Everyone knows there's no ketchup like Heinz. The gelato is made with real ketchup and even topped with a drizzle of it for good measure. Yum?" Number 5. Exploding ketchup. In 2012, thousands of bottles of ketchup labeled simply Heinz began exploding in a privately owned New Jersey warehouse in what appeared to be a counterfeiting scheme. The idea was to fill so-called simply Heinz bottles with regular old Heinz ketchup and sell it at the inflated simply Heinz price. But because of the heat in the warehouse, fermentation caused a pressure buildup and boom. But don't worry about unknowingly buying counterfeit Heinz. These incidents are rare for Heinz, the company said. As the world's leading manufacturer of ketchup, Heinz has stringent manufacturing and packaging practices in place to ensure the safety of consumers. Number 6. McDonald's broke up with Heinz. Think of just about any fast food restaurant and it's likely you're ripping open Heinz ketchup packets for your fries. Wiener Schnitzel? Check. Jack in the Box? Check. Carl's Jr., Burger King, Wendy's? It's all Heinz. Ruben Peterson, director of Heinz Global Tomato Supply Chain, told NPR. But you might notice one glaring omission: McDonald's. That's because Heinz and McDonald's broke up. In 2013, McDonald's announced that it would be cutting ties with Heinz as their ketchup provider, ending a decades-long relationship as they discontinued the use of their product in their restaurants worldwide. The fast food chain told the Huffington Post, "We value the relationship we've maintained with Heinz for more than 40 years. As a result of recent management changes at Heinz, we've decided to transition our business to other suppliers over time." Number 7. Rotten Tomatoes. Heinz has done a good job of avoiding any major scandals over the years, but in 2016, some decidedly gross video footage surfaced that had Heinz Egypt doing damage control. The footage aired on a state-run current affairs program and supposedly showed 2 workers putting rotten and discolored tomatoes into the metal tank used in the ketchup making process. Heinz denied the allegations of the rotten tomato usage, but did not deny it was indeed their factory, saying, "The recent story concerning our tomato factory in Egypt was completely misleading and inaccurate. The edited footage shows an unreal picture and neglects the processing stages, hence gives the wrong impression." Consumers called on Heinz to produce footage showing the entire process to prove the video's inaccuracies, but none was ever released. Local media reported that Heinz managing director in Egypt had been arrested, and that 2 tons of sauce made with the rotten tomatoes had been seized, though the company claimed that the products were not intended for distribution. That was an especially juicy fact, right? I think that one definitely deserves a thumbs up. Number 8. Mind-blowing sales. Given that Heinz accounts for around 50% of all the ketchup in American kitchens, it's not too surprising to hear that they sell a lot of the product. But the actual numbers will blow your mind. We're talking millions and billions here. Each year, 650 million bottles of Heinz ketchup are sold in 140 countries worldwide. That's 1,000 bottles every minute, and results in more than $1.5 billion annually. But let's not forget the single-serve packets. The company sells 11 billion packets per year, which according to the company's website, works out to 2 packets for every person on Earth. Of course, it requires a lot of tomatoes to make all this ketchup, and Heinz uses over 2 million tons each year, making them the largest user of tomatoes in the world. That sounds like a lot of fruit, right? Picture this. If you put all the tomato processing trucks end to end, the line would stretch almost 900 miles. Number 9. Ketchup from China. Even though ketchup is commonplace in the United States, you might be surprised to learn that its origins aren't American at all. According to National Geographic, ketchup originated in China, where ketchup is the name of a sauce made using fermented fish. It is thought that the British tasted this sauce abroad, enjoyed it, and sought to recreate it once they returned home. Naturally, early versions of ketchup differ greatly from what we recognize today. Number 10. The perfect recipe. Heinz themselves called it the perfect recipe. Others have referred to it as objectively perfect, but exactly how did H.J. Heinz invent the perfect ketchup all those years ago? According to Malcolm Gladwell of The New Yorker, what Heinz created is exactly the right balance of what the 5 fundamental tastes are: salty, sweet, bitter, sour, and umami. Gladwell explains, when Heinz moved to ripe tomatoes and increased the percentage of tomato solids, he made ketchup, first and foremost, a potent source of umami. Then he dramatically increased the concentration of vinegar so that his ketchup had twice the acidity of most other ketchups. Now ketchup was sour, another of the fundamental tastes. The post-benzoate ketchups also doubled the concentration of sugar, so now ketchup was also sweet. And all along, ketchup had been salty and bitter. We appreciate you sticking around until the end of the video, and we hope you enjoyed. But why stop now? Click these videos for more awesome content.